Hey, good morning, friends, family, and folks. It's Wednesday, and you know, for a while, I tried to encourage family and friends, different things on different days. It's just nice to have a focus sometimes, right? And today is Wishy Washy Wipe It Down Wednesday, Wonderful Wednesday. And so Wednesday gets very, very full because then I was wiping down the counter and I was thinking, whoop it up Wednesday. And I kind of like that idea too because it is hump day, as they call it. It's the wind down of the week. But at the same time, I don't wish, Wishful Wednesday, I don't wish any time away. And in that, I got thinking about the power of thought. I'm really like to be sensitive about how people have their view of the world, because I think we should be, and accepting of everybody's different worldview to a point, not when it hurts humanity blatantly. But we're not going there today. Today is wishful, so I'm wondering what your wish is for today. It's wonderful. Now, here's the real challenge. You can pick one other person and say what's wonderful about them, but here's the real challenge. You were wonderfully made. So, what is wonderful about you? Right? In Western culture, that may be considered selfish. And I just sometimes wonder also if you compare it sometimes to a more Eastern view, selfish is not a bad thing. Because if, love thyself, know thyself, love your neighbor as thyself. So it's important to understand ourselves and appreciate ourselves and love ourselves. So the idea is to capture your thoughts today and make them about how wonderful you are and how wonderful at least one other person is and maybe how wonderful life is. So wishy, what's your wish? Wonderful, what's wonderful about you or somebody else or both and so on. Humanity at large. And wipe it down. So, talking about wiping it down, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Maybe wipe down that one corner that's been bothering you, and wipe away some of that emotional response to life that is just not useful, and manage those emotional responses. Not that we can't have our times of heightened emotional responses to things, of course, but maybe it's a good day to wipe them down and manage them. We have to manage our emotional responses. Spiritually, wipe it down spiritually, shine it up, get it ready to enjoy the spirit of life. And mentally, here's where I find it interesting is I heard someone this morning, basically, two things that I gathered this morning out of my readings. One is we do no good when we hoard things, right? Energy is to be spent. And we're all energy and we're just borrowed. We're on borrowed energy because guess what? Someday we go and die, right? And just like the life cycle of everything else. And so let's take this energy that we are, we are energy and our thoughts are energy. And make those thoughts an energy that you want to be, that you want to spend, right? Like a shiny new dime. Every day is like a shiny new dime. And these thoughts we have are like shiny new dimes. Let's take these thoughts and decide what it is that we want to say internally about ourselves, what we want to think internally or externally about others, and manage that and wipe it down. Wipe down what's not serving you mentally. And but also not to hoard our energy, right? Hoarding anything, and money is energy, for example, right? If we don't give it to the local baker, well, he goes out of business, and the day we need bread, we don't have one. We don't have a loaf of bread to buy. So it's important where we can, fiscally responsibly, with fiscal responsibility, that sort of thing. But where we can, we should be taking the concept of money, which is energy, which is our talents. It's our talent that helped us gain this paper with numbers on it, which is a symbol of energy, right? And spread it around, because if we don't spread it around, we just keep hoarding it. As we know, that 0.01% of the population has 90% of the wealth. They hoard it. And that's why we have hungry people on the planet. Just saying, right? If we just spread it around a little more, it's what keeps everything moving and healthy, and in the cycle that it should be. So I welcome us not to hoard that sort of thing, not to hoard our belongings, and but also what I found interesting is not to hoard ourselves. Hence doing a video today. These are the things that I think about, and maybe I shouldn't hoard it. Maybe I should be out there just sharing it, and people can respond however they want, right? And so that, as well as managing those thoughts. So the example that I was given today was, this woman said, some days I wake up and say, I'm depressed. Spend the rest of the day depressed. She said, one day she said, okay, I have to manage these thoughts, right? So you may make up with a little lower energy in the morning, and maybe that needs to be honored in whatever way that you're capable of honoring that, not to deny the truth to ourselves that some days we are more positive than others, but not to spend the whole day saying, yeah, today I'm depressed. And just deciding that, mental tracks are amazing, not like train tracks. You jump off them, you might die, or be severely harmed. But mental tracks, we can jump off them whenever we want and find a new mental track. So I invite you to look at your mental tracks today as well. So wishy-washy, wonderful, whoop it up Wednesday, wipe it down Wednesday. So an invitation to Wednesday. Thank you, friends, family, and folks. And see you next time. Until.